Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're going to check out the Obelisk 65 FC from GeekVape. So, what that FC means is fast charge. There's also a non-FC version of this as well if you don't want the fast charge capabilities. This still will do 2 amp charging, I believe, which is fast in its own right, but this thing takes it to a whole nother level. We've seen other Obelisk devices have the FC capabilities, and I've really liked it. Anyway, so what this is a pod mod that takes their B-series coils. Let's go ahead and dive into it. This is just sample packaging, so disregard. So inside, you will have the device with 1 pod and coil pre-installed. You'll get a second B-series coil, one of these little coil prying tools, a USB-C cable, and that thing does have a USB-C on both ends, a little warning card, and of course, a user manual. Okay, so here is the device. This thing has 2 1100 milliamp hour batteries built into it. So there's 2 1100 milliamp hour batteries. The other one, the non-fast charging one, has 1 single 2400 milliamp hour battery. Made out of what feels like zinc alloy. You got a USB-C port right there. You have these plastic panels right here with a kind of cool looking design. It says GeekVape right there. And the same on that side. Nothing on that end except for some detail cuts into it, which looks nice. There's what your base looks like. Just says Obelisk 65 FC. Okay, and on that side, you have your fire button, your screen, and your controls. And on the FC version, the button's going to have this little design on it. So up top here, held in by magnets, is your pod. Now, I looked all over the place. I looked in the manual. I looked on their website. I cannot figure out the liquid capacity of this. I do have a syringe, but I don't know what the heck happened to it. I lost it, so I'm going to buy another, which is what I did the last time I lost it. I tend to lose my filling syringes. So, my apologies for not being able to tell you the exact liquid capacity, but I'm guessing 4.5 to 5 mLs. By the time this video goes up, it will probably be on their website, and we'll see how accurate I am. So up top here, you do have your drip tip. All right, looks to be one of those 510s that doesn't have O-rings on them. Made out of Delrin. You got your fill port right here. Your airflow control is right here, so this does have top airflow, making it leak resistant. 1 slot and 2 slots. And down here is your coil. And let's pull this little sticker off. Now, when these coils are wet after some use, the O-rings are wet and everything, they're the types that you can pull up with your fingers. But when it's dry like this, it's difficult. And if you see how this is designed, you know, you got what looks like 2 magnets right there. You can't get this whole thing up underneath. So, best way to get this coil out is use the other end, pry it up like so, and pop it out. So this first coil is 0.2 ohms, Ni80, rated for 50 to 58 watts, and that is a vertical mesh coil. And the other one you get is 0.4 ohms, rated for 25 to 35 watts, and this one is Kanthal, smaller inner diameter mesh coil, as you can see. We're going to install this one because I have the 0.2 ohm in my other device. So I'm going to put some 6 milligram e-liquid in this bad boy. Put a couple drops down from the top. And when you go to put your coil back in, notice you got to put it in at this angle. So just follow those lines there. All right, there we are. And I got liquid on it, of course. Now you got your fill port up top here. Nice chunky plug, all right, and a good sized port. So let's go ahead and fill this thing up. And you just want to tilt a little bit like that. When done, just plug that up like so. And there's what the inside of the device looks like. You got some contacts, magnets. So let's go ahead and take our pod, put it back in. Now, you know, as far as a liquid window goes, you can see a little bit when it's completely full, but not much. Would have been nice if maybe there was a hole or something cut right here to be able to see how much liquid you had left. So you are going to have to pull the pod up to check that out. Let's go ahead and turn it on. 5 clicks. All right, so there we are. Here is your home screen, and it's kind of a new version of some of the older boards as far as the layout goes, some of the older GeekVape boards. It has some of the exact same controls. So right now we're in smart mode. This mode basically detects your resistance and gives you the wattage it thinks you should be using for that particular coil. Then you have your battery bar right there, your resistance, come on guy, your voltage, and your puff counter. In order to adjust your brightness, you can hit the fire button and right button. We're already at 100%, or you can go down like this. Okay, Very, very easy. To change your modes, 1, 2, 3, you'll see smart is highlighted. You can go from smart to regular power mode, TC stainless steel, TC TCR, variable power curves, bypass mode, and OTG, which is only something you can use on the fast charging version of this. Using this mode makes this thing a power bank, and you can then charge other devices with this device. That's what OTG is. Okay, and whoops, let's highlight that. Okay, we went back to smart mode. Anyway, let's go back to regular power mode. And then if you click that button, you can set your resistance. Click it again, you can reset your puff counter. We've seen this before when in past GeekVape boards. It's very intuitive, just the skin is a little bit different. Now, if you highlight power again, 1, 2, 3, now that's highlighted. Now click the left and right buttons. That will change your color accent. All right. Let's leave it on red for now. Now, when nothing is highlighted, if you click the left and right buttons, that will lock these controls right here, but you are still able to fire it. And then, of course, you can turn it off with 5 clicks. Now, to give you a little more info on the fast charging capabilities, with the PD fast charge, 15 volts, 3 amps to 45 watts max. With regular charging, 5 volts, 2 amps max. So, in order to fast charge this, you need one of those PD charge power blocks. I believe GeekVape makes them, but there's also other companies that make them. You could just search for PD USB-C chargers and pick a power block, and it should work with this. Or, of course, you could just get GeekVape's version. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's a look at it in the hand. Definitely pocketable. Feels better, I think, than the Obelisk 60, just a little more rounded, a little more contoured. I think it's taller than that device, but not as wide, if I'm not mistaken. I like the form factor on this. Really like the ergonomics. Feels great. Now, here is a look at the regular non-FC version. Notice the button is just, a normal silver. It doesn't have that little design on it. But besides that, they look to be the exact same size. All right, guys, that is it for the up close. Let's go ahead, go up top, vape these, and talk about them a little more. All right, here's the Obelisk 65. This one has the 0.2 ohm coil. It's actually reading 0.18, 50 watts, airflow is wide open. Here we go. A nice medium restricted lung hit, medium warmth. You could go up on wattage to 55. Well, I think it's rated up to 58, but 55 is good for me. Plenty of warmth and flavor at 55. It's a nice coil. Now, this one has the 0.4 ohm. It's reading 0.42. I have it at 35 watts. Airflow is wide open using 6 milligram in here. Here we go. A little bit tighter draw. I would call it more of a medium to tight restricted lung hit. Really nice at 35. Plenty of warmth, plenty of flavor. I like these coils. And especially this 0.4 ohm, because you can use it at 35 watts, get a satisfying vape, and you're not going to go through battery as fast. So let's talk pros and cons. Cons first. First off, I think that they should have given or designed a different tool for the coil prying on this thing. When I first tried it, I quickly realized, oh, the little hook isn't going to fit under there, so I'll use the other side to pry it up. But not everybody is super mechanically inclined, and they should just come up with a different tool that will fit inside of this. Because this one will not fit in there when the coil is all the way down. You could pry it up a little bit first and then use the hook, but it's not going to fit in there any other way. And if you only use one tip of this, it's going to probably bend. So my point is, I think they should make a different tool for this. Also, there's not much of a liquid window. You can see it a little bit when you first fill it up, but once it passes that line, you're going to be pulling up your pod to check out how much liquid you have left. Not the end of the world, but would have been nice if there was maybe a window or something right back here. Besides that, it's all good. The only other thing that would have been nice here is if they did include that little PD charging block, but I know those are pretty expensive. So, it would have made the kit quite a bit more money, but maybe even, offer an option with the plug. Maybe they will. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen it. So, just so people get everything they need right off the bat if they're buying the FC version. Going into pros, let's start from top down. Super comfortable drip tip, no issues there. It does have top airflow control, so the air comes in from the top, goes down an outer chamber, and then into your coil, making it more leak resistant, which is definitely a plus. We've seen GeekVape do designs like this in some of their other pod mods. Also top fill, which is really nice. You can fill it up right there, so you don't have to pull your pod out when you go to fill it. Obviously, the USB-C FC charging is awesome, but even on the non-FC, you still get USB-C 2 amp charging, which is also nice. And something to say about the FC charging that they wrote me, just so you guys know. GeekVape has already applied this tech on the Obelisk 120 FC, and there are more to come. The battery cell has adopted an assembly in series connection of multi-electrodes, which ensures the safety issue caused by a fast speed charge. Meanwhile, the battery cell has been certified in the TUV test, which is a huge leap in product safety in the industry. So, just something to keep in mind if you're worried about safety issues with the FC model. Full featured board. Most pod mods don't have this many features in the board. This one does. You can use TC modes, the variable power curves. On the FC version, you can reverse charge, so you can charge other devices. So, definitely fully featured. I always like GeekVape boards. Their layouts are really easy to navigate through. No problem whatsoever there. Buttons all feel great, and I think the ergonomics are really nice. It's more contoured than some of the other Obelisk devices, and it fits great in the hand. There's no hot spots whatsoever. Build quality is nice, so it's a fantastic device from GeekVape. One of my favorite pod mods that they have made so far, hands down, whether it be the FC or the non-FC version. I'm not sure, like I said in the up close, what the liquid capacity is, but by the time this video is uploaded, because I'm filming a few days in advance, I'm sure the info will be out there. My apologies for not knowing and for losing my syringe. I'm stupid. So I think that's it, guys. Nice job, GeekVape. It is going to come in multiple different color varieties. That about wraps it up. Until next time, thanks for watching. Suck my mod.